Honorable Men Discord. Chris Webber wants you to put respect on his name. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
As always, welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get straight to it. So, Chris Webber made a statement towards, some would say, Corey Holcomb, the comedian, as well as any podcast that's out there that's spreading rumors, putting dirt on his name. All right. Before I hit play on this video, I just need to say this to Chris Webber. Understand that you're a public figure, and if there's things mentioned about you in social media, it's the norm that people are going to speak on it. It's not a personal attack towards you, but it's just information that people want to get the answer to. All right. Also, understand this: by you making that public statement, let's just say for some reason someone had no idea what was going on. That in itself, even though you're trying to bring up lawyers, that in itself would make someone say, well, what exactly is going on with Chris Webber? Just understand, there's some people out there that's so busy that respectfully, they don't care what's going on in your life. So you now make a public statement, and that person who may have been a fan of yours from when you played back in Michigan, they see something like that on their timeline. They're like, what is he talking about? And now you inadvertently make that person dive into the information as to what's going on. So you're doing yourself a disservice by making a public statement attacking those who may mention your name. Okay? I just have to put that out there. Again, you're doing a disservice by even mentioning it at all, because now curious minds are going to investigate to find out what exactly it is that you're talking about, even though you're not speaking on it. So let's get into this video, and I'll talk about it further.
Howdy, people. Man, the internet is undefeated, huh? That's why I'm gonna give this friendly reminder to some of my friends out there that you can't believe everything you read, see, or hear on the internet. Especially when they're all lies. No proof, just made up lies. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to issue my one and only advisory. If you have a platform and you have content with my name attached to lies, take it down now. And to those that started the rumor, that started the lies and then continued to spread the lies, I dare you not to take it down. I dare you to repeat a lie. You're not going to defame my name. Of course, the lawyers are in action. Of course, the lawyers are in motion and are motivated. But that's that. If anyone else that wants some insight and a story or some tools of how to get through the distractions, how to stay focused during the bull, go get my book. By God's grace. By God's grace. By God's grace. It's crazy. The enemy wants us to be distracted, man. You gotta put your blinders on. Stay focused, man. Stay focused, man. Stay focused.
All right, so many people believe he was speaking indirectly to Corey Holcomb. So here's Corey Holcomb addressing his thoughts on the video I just showed you with Chris Webber.
Where my brother from the Fab Five, Chris Webber, name is in the news now. And Chris Webber has a video out now where a lot of stuff he's not happy about. And I want to say to the brother Chris Webber, man, do you know once your name is out there, all of these people who do these, especially the AI videos, they're cowards who are going to hide behind a credit card that you're going to pay lawyers to go and deal with, and it's going to lead to so many dead ends. I know what it feels like to be misrepresented when people speak. Trust me. But brother Chris, man, they gonna come up with, they gonna lie about this, they gonna lie about that. It's part of this world called the internet. You really can't believe everything you see on the internet that they say about people. But what the fuck is true? That's what we want to know. Is everybody off with what they say, brother Chris, about what's happening? Because people get information and people say, I don't like the fact that people say, oh, he talking about Corey and 5150. So we didn't say nothing about him like that, because I watched again what we said.
Yeah.
Chris, you said you heard.
Right.
And we heard things about this, that, and the other. And I was talking about having people over around your wife, and I stand on everything I said. Because I wouldn't have no man in my house hanging with my wife. So with that being said, I would say to my brother Chris, who was, you know what I'm saying, phenomenal in college. He did, I mean, the NBA, he got his money, you know what I'm saying? What we want to know, since you're coming on the internet, is what happened, brother. And you say it ain't none of your business, but I saw something where you was talking about it. So it is the business of the internet. Everything you put on the internet is gonna be in people's business, especially if you are a famous person that people want to be able to say something bad about anyway. Because I get people saying stuff about me, and I watch some of it, and I'll be like, you're so off. What are you talking about? That's not even what happened. But whatever happened, brother Chris, maybe you should put it out there on the internet instead of putting it out there about the lawyers, because, man, you ain't finna chase these garbage-ass pages of AI down with lawyers, because it's too expensive. The world is full of scumbags. They're gonna do things to not be straight up. They don't care about being straight up. In fact, some of them want to misrepresent the truth. We hope that you can tell the truth about what happened, because the truth is the truth. And if it comes out in bits and pieces, why don't you stand on what you did? Because something happened, didn't it? Huh? Something happened, brother. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, and it's out there. And I think it's better if you give your word about what happened instead of saying, you know, hey, lawyers on deck. It was good to see him again, too, because I ain't seen Chris Webber.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here goes brother Chris. A lot of us, especially people who are basketball fans, we know you. We root for you, but if you was smashing old boy wife, put it out there, because it's out there.
Yeah, we were the last of the, like, you know, people.
People talk
it was
about
all
like,
over the,
man, almost everybody smashes somebody's wife, man. This is America, man. Ain't nobody straight up, man. The women ain't straight up, the men ain't straight up. But I tell you what, the truth is something that has no alibi. That's what I say.
100%.
Hey, you know, I don't want none of y'all to say nothing about it if you don't feel to say nothing.
I mean, you know, I know with ex-athletes, especially ones on that level, a Chris Webber level, dominant, they're not used to, you know, just people having opinions, or they don't really understand the landscape of what we do as artists. We just talking about public information.
Internet story.
and it was really out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been
We
out
ain't
there.
hiding behind AI. We right here.
But we love you. But as comedians, you know, we're sensitive, but we also have thicker skin than the average person. And most athletes ain't used to the level of scrutiny that we're, you know, that we.
No, but hold on. Let me say something. I ain't no coward, motherfucker. Yeah. If you was fucking that dude's wife while they was married, you a dirtbag for that.
Straight up.
You a dirtbag for that. If that's what happened. But I'm saying, like, that don't make me hate you, because I done fuck people wife. Huh? It's just I'm not Chris Webber. So it ain't like it is with you, brother. They this is something where they got somebody that major broadcasting companies have put money behind. So of course they gonna run with it more with you. But yeah, I mean, people, girl get smashed.
Don't get mad at us, man. Mend that relationship with Jalen Rose.
So I'm gonna end that there. What's your thoughts? Do you think Chris Webber is in the right to address platforms with the threat of his attorneys? Do you think he should explain further what it is he's talking about rather than being vague and attacking those that are reporting on the information that they received? Because, I mean, it is true that, you know, there are platforms where they're faceless platforms that could be hosted by individuals that use AI to speak for them and put out misinformation. I do believe those platforms exist. But the reason why Corey Holcomb's name came up is because obviously he spoke about it on his platform. And, you know, people think that maybe he spoke on it more than once. I'm not sure whether or not he spoke on it more than once or not. But for whatever reason, his name was mentioned. Obviously, he mentioned that his name was mentioned. So it is a thing about his name being mentioned as one of those possible platforms that Chris Webber is talking about. But in any event, you know, my message to Chris Webber is to develop thick skin. I'm pretty sure you have some level of thick skin, but continue to develop thicker skin, because you're a public figure, and you know, once information gets out there, it's a snowball effect. It just gets bigger and bigger, and there's really no way of controlling it. You can try to control it with attorneys, but it's already out there. So even if the attorneys are successful in getting platforms to remove the content that bears your name, the information's been already out there. You know, he has the right to feel the way he feels about the situation, because it is in fact his name that is up in lights at this moment. But this is a serious matter. You know, the allegations is a serious matter, and I don't really think that was a time to start off serious and then smile at towards the end and promote a book. That's just my opinion on it. What's your thoughts? Those of you watching, what's your thoughts on this whole event? And as I said in the beginning, there may have been someone who didn't follow this at all. And by you, and by when I'm saying you, I'm talking to Chris Webber. By you making that statement, you're now actually drawing more attention to the situation. So on one hand, you're trying to control it and you're trying to end it, but by you doing what you did, by making that statement, you're actually bringing more light to it. So, you know, I would have thought that maybe since you brought up a lawyer, your lawyer should have told you that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but you going public on whatever platform you use to make that statement, you're actually bringing more attention to it. All right. Even though you're being vague about what you're talking about, it's going to make people curious. And when they search on whatever platform they search on, the other material that you want to control is going to pop up. But that's my thoughts on it. I don't really have anything else to say on this. You know, actually, I could say one last thing. Listen, there's no perfect man or woman under the sun. So again, Chris Webber, develop thick skin. No one's out to attack you and bring your name down. No one gets anything from it. You know, but again, it's information that came out, and people will speak on it, you know, and that's just what it is. You know, that's just part of life, you know. But that's all I have on this topic. You know, anyone that wants to speak on it further in the comments, I'm here for it. Other than that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.